Special agent. What is required after you purchase a weapon, legally purchase a weapon?
So, based on both work experience and personal experience buying firearms, we're instructed to take that pistol sales record to the local or county law enforcement within 10 days of the purchase.
Okay. That's different from having a CPL?
Yes.
Okay. Talk to the jury about what that is. I think sometimes people get confused if they think once you get your CPL, then you don't have to register it, or vice versa.
So a concealed pistol license basically is just a permit to carry the weapon on your person within the state of Michigan. It's called a concealed pistol license.
Which is not an issue here, but it's different than registering the firearm.
Yes.
Okay. And I think the last question I asked was, is there a way the ATF can determine whether or not a handgun was registered in Michigan?
There's a way that state, local, and federal law enforcement can query in Michigan to determine if a firearm has firearm's registered. Yes.
Okay, and can you tell the jury how that?
Yes. So
works?
There's a law enforcement database that state, local, and federal have access to that you query the serial number of the firearm, and it determines. It'll pop up who the firearm is registered to if it's registered.
Okay, and did you do that?
Yes.
Okay, and so the Derringer, was this registered?
No.
Okay. And the Caltech, was this registered?
No.
Okay. And then the SIG, was that registered?
No, it was not, but I will say that there is
He had some time to do
He had
that.
some time to still drop it off after, but there were events that occurred. Obviously, the shooting happened within that 10 days.
Right. Okay. Thank you. One moment, Your Honor. So we previously admitted the trigger lock statement, and Mark's going to try to pull that up and keep track of. There it is, and it's People's 38. Whose signature is that? If you know, what's the name on the statement?
Under purchaser, it says James Crumbley.
Okay, and can you tell the jury what this trigger lock statement means at the top, the boxes and
Yes.
what it indicates because they're checked?
So this form was provided by the gun store in Oxford during the purchase. It was filled out by both James Crumbley and Cammie Beck during the purchase. And the first part says, this sale included, the first box that checked is, it says, a trigger lock or other device designed to disable a firearm and prevent the discharge of a firearm, or a gun case or storage container that can be secured to prevent unauthorized access to the firearm. It basically means that those two things have been provided because those boxes are checked. In this case, being the cable lock and the gun case itself, if you put locks in it, could be locked.
Okay, thank you. And that's been previously admitted. I want to take you back to watching the surveillance of the shooting. And when I asked you, what does that mean? From what time to what time were you able to watch surveillance in the school?
Are you referring to the actual time of the day?
No, how much surveillance did you watch, and what did it include?
I watched a majority of the footage, including Ethan's whereabouts through the day, or the shooter's whereabouts through the day, and then also the actual shooting itself and the aftermath of that.
Okay, and if were you able to determine how many rounds were fired?
32.
Okay, and watching the surveillance from an investigative standpoint, was anything interesting or cause you to take other steps?
Yes, there were three main things that caught my attention during the video, specifically during the shooting.
There were three things?
There were three things.
Okay,
yes.
Can you list them for the jury?
Yes, so first, as the shooting began, the shooter was using only one arm for a majority of the first part of the shooting. And then as he moved down the hallway and tape comes into view of the screen, he takes a two-handed shooting grip, takes I would call a shooter stance, feet wide, his shoulders roll forward, and he takes aim with using the sights and fires one round.
When you say using the sights, what do you mean?
Meaning that there's a mechanism on the firearm that allows you to take aim. If I can.
Yep. Okay, I'm handing you the SIG, which is the murder weapon. Can you show the jury? You might have to stand up.
Yes. So and here you see how there's 2 white dots back here, and I'm sorry for this is a SIG firearm. The 2 dots back here are considered the rear sight. See that over there? And if you line up the front sight with the rear sight, that is how you aim a firearm. In the video, I noted that Ethan did that on the shooter did that on the first shot, as well as the second shot he took at tape.
Okay, Special Agent, we have not shown that surveillance video at this point. So I'm going to try to provide some context. And what did you, when you were watching this, and you mentioned the stance and lining up the sights, was the shooter rushing? Was the shooter going at a fast pace? Can you describe what you saw?
Yes, during that specific portion, he came to a dead stop and took aim. And then as he moved forward, he walked 2 or 3 steps forward and then took aim again and discharged the firearm.
And what seemed remarkable about that to you, if anything?
Your Honor, I just object to the relevance. This is not the trial for the shooter.
Your Honor, the knowledge of firearm proficiency is absolutely relevant, and it is a contested fact, and it is relevant to these proceedings.
Yeah, I'm going to allow it. I hope you guys do understand that, right? Some of these things overlap, but you were carefully chosen to distinguish between what the shooter did and what we're here about. And we all trust you to do that. So I know it's difficult and an emotional day, but some of these things are not to horrify or upset you, but to let you know some of the circumstances. So I hope that you separate those things.
It is offered precisely what he's testifying to about the proficiency with the firearm that the shooter had.
Yeah, I'm going to allow it.
Thank you. What, if anything, was remarkable about that?
When I first saw it, I immediately said to others in the room that I thought that the shooter had been to a shooting range or had training in firearms.
And that's based on what you just testified to?
Yes.
Okay. Particularly with the shot fired that killed Tate Muir, was there anything about that other than the stance?
It was the stance, the way he rolled the shoulders forward, and then the way as he walked up to take the second shot that he re-established a stable shooting platform to take the second shot.
Okay. Thank you. The entire shooting lasted how long, if you know?
The entire shooting, I don't recall the exact length of time, but it was less than 10 minutes.
Okay. Were you able to observe the any loading of magazines in the SIG? And I should back up. What is a magazine?
So a magazine is the part of the firearm that contains ammunition that's loaded in the magazine well of the firearm.
And I'm sorry to keep doing this, but
Sure.
Can you show the jury where a magazine, how you load a magazine if you had one?
Yes. So I think there's actually one in the SIG. So this is a.
Probably. Could you stand up? So
Yes. So this is a SIG Sauer pistol magazine. It's a 15-round magazine. This would be inserted into the magazine well when it's loaded with ammunition. You would then send the slide forward, chambering it around, and at that point the firearm's ready to be discharged.
Okay. And you said 32 rounds were fired?
Yes, there were 32 fired cartridge casings or shell casings that were recovered from the school, yes.
And there were how many in a magazine?
The SIG Sauer magazine is a 15-round magazine, and you can also fit an additional round in the chamber for a total of 16 rounds.
Okay. Did you ever observe on the video the shooter reloading?
Yes.
Can you tell me about that?
Yes, so I believe it was the first time the shooter reloaded. The magazine was empty, and he loaded a new magazine into the firearm. At another point, this was the second thing that I thought was notable in the surveillance video. He conducted what at ATF we're trained as a tactical magazine exchange. I know other agencies call it combat reload, but basically he was not out of ammunition in the firearm yet, but he knew that, I can't testify to what he knew, but
Why are you trained to do a combat reload?
to make sure that you always have more rounds in your magazine, so that that you have sufficient ammunition. So if you have half of a magazine, you would eject it, not throw it on the ground, you would put it in your pocket in case you need it, and then you load a full magazine, so now you're back to full capacity.
And what were you trained would be the purpose for that? When would you have cause to do that?
So for us, we're trained if we're involved in a shooting. If you do that, that way you have a fully loaded magazine in case you need to re-engage a threat. Obviously, the circumstances here were obviously different.
Okay. Thank you. One moment. Okay. That was the first thing. There were two other things.
So so the first was his shooting stance. The second was the tactical magazine exchange. The third thing was after the shooter exited the bathroom where he gave himself up. Eventually, he ejected the magazine out of the firearm and placed it on top of a trash receptacle, which I found odd at the time, because if you were just doing a school shooting, it seemed odd to take the magazine and make a firearm safe.
So he walked out of the bathroom, and the evidence showed that is where Justin Schilling was killed. He walked out of the bathroom, and you say he took the magazine out, and you're saying that it's making the firearm safe.
Yes, I don't believe he ejected around from the chamber. I don't recall right now. I don't believe he did. But yes, he separated the magazine from the firearm as if he were at a shooting range and taking the magazine out and setting it on like a
stationary trash can.
Yes.
Okay. And what did he do after that?
At that point, he got on the ground and was shortly thereafter taken into custody by sheriff's deputies.
Okay. And when he was was he standing? Was he laying down? Was he sitting?
No,
kneeling?
He got into he was kneeling and then got into the prone position with his hands up.
Okay. Were you able to determine whether or not he used anything to protect his ears?
During the shooting?
Yes.
I don't recall. No.
Okay. And then the third thing was, I just want to make sure we got all three things.
Yep, that is all.
Okay. So after you determined that you considered it proficiency or somewhat?
Yes, there was some level of firearms training exhibited in the surveillance video.
Okay. And so what did you do next?
So the following day, after knowing that ranges would be open in the morning, also additional information came in during the investigation that there was possibility that the family had been to a firearms range recently. I began looking for evidence of James, Jennifer, or Ethan Crumbley at shooting ranges in the area.
Okay, and is this part of a normal investigation you would do in a shooting?
Yes.
Okay, and so you started going to local shooting ranges?
No, I began calling. The first one I called was the most popular range probably in this area. And upon calling, they confirmed that they did have information and asked that I come in and verify my identity. Okay,
and how far away was that from the Crumbley home?
Not too far. It was in Clarkston, Michigan, so okay. A couple towns over.
Okay. Did you go to the range?
Yes.
All right. And what did you, what kind of information were you seeking?
So the range provided multiple receipts from showing that James and Ethan and Jennifer Crumbley had been at the range in the past, as well as surveillance video documenting range visits on September 25th and on November 27th. I believe that's 3 days prior to the shooting.
Okay. Let's start with exhibits 40 and 41. Is that what you want? These, well, I'm going to ask you. Okay. Special Agent, what is on the screen?
These are Facebook messages between James and Jennifer Crumbley.
And how were these retrieved?
Through a search warrant served on Facebook.
Okay. You also, in the investigation, reviewed downloading from the actual phones, correct?
Yes.
All right. Were these messages still on Jennifer Crumbley's phone?
I know they were on James's phone. I don't recall if they were on Jennifer's phone.
Okay.
Your
Can you,
Honor, Your Honor, I'm sorry. I stipulated, but my copy does not have these stars on it, and they have eliminated some of the messages on this
I
exhibit.
think that's why the stars are there.
yeah,
Right, so I
we're
object to
happy
these.
we're happy to provide all of the messages. We were just to be concise regarding, these messages are offered to show Jennifer Crumbley's knowledge that they were at the store and the range, but I was just trying to be concise, but we're happy to give it all to the jury.
For the interest of completion, Ms. Smith, I'll admit any portions of those that you would like.
Yeah, Your Honor, I would ask for the whole, they gave me the entire exhibit.
You have it all.
Okay, I have it all, but what you're putting up here is not it all, so.
We're happy to provide all of it. We're just gonna talk about these two and she can, and we'll provide every single thing possible to the jury. I'm just trying to not go through all of the messages that weren't pertinent to the shooting.
We're just taking slivers out. This is the problem. This is.
The whole exhibit, the whole exhibit's going to come in, but that's the reason that the stars are there, to show that it's not a complete chain, that there's something in the middle. But I will admit the entire text chain, and you are also happy to present to the jury the entire text chain.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
And Your Honor, there's no evidentiary requirement that we have to publish every text message in a 2,000 page string if we want to pull out. I'm not trying to misrepresent.
There isn't. But
Okay.
I'm just saying that if Ms. Smith would like those in, I would be happy to admit them for the purposes of completion.
We want it all in, so we're happy, we'll stipulate to it.
Okay.
This was only taken out not to deceive as much as to try to make, these are the ones about the gun range, but there's a lot of content about things like, purchases and all sorts of stuff. Okay, so can you read those to the jury, especially Joe?
Yes, so this is dated June 15th, 2021. So JC Crumbley is Jennifer Crumbley's Facebook account, that's in blue, and it says talk at 12 o'clock ? And then James Crumbley, who's in green, responds, taking Ethan to store at 12. Jennifer responds, you get gun.
So that the last one was 11:34. That's UTC -4. Is that 11:34 again?
This has been adjusted to Eastern Standard Time.
So it's really 11:34.
Yes.
Okay. And there's time passes, and now we're at 1:17. And what does Jennifer reply?
Jennifer asks, you get gun.
Okay, and the next slide.
James responds, yes, and it says Mo, but I believe it's supposed to be no. Jennifer questions that, says, huh? And then James says, we paid for the gun and bought it, but can't pick it up until everything clears Washington, in parentheses, FBI. Could be today, tomorrow, or next day. They don't know. Jennifer responds, gotcha. Bring me those fruit punch things when you come to bring hay.
Okay. And then that same, can you read the text on the slide?
Yes, so Jennifer sends a message that asks, how much is your gun? James replies, 300.
Okay. I want to direct your attention to Exhibit 24 that's already been admitted. What are we looking at?
This is a receipt from the gun store in Oxford for the Derringer that we've been talking about.
So this is the Derringer?
Correct.
Okay. And how much was the price?
Total price was $180.15.
Okay. And then the next, who purchased the Derringer?
James Crumbley.
Okay. What is Exhibit 26?
This is also a receipt from the gun store in Oxford for the Kel-Tec P17 pistol.
So it's this one?
Yes.
All right, and the same day? Were these on the same day purchased?
They were purchased on different days.
Okay. And how much was this?
The gun itself was $299.95.
Okay. Thank you. All right. I want to draw your attention next to I'm sorry, Your Honor, there's just a lot of exhibits and I want to make sure we get it right.
I understand.
Okay. 27? No, we did that. I'm sorry. Facebook messages between James and Jennifer on June 20th, 2021. Can you read those? That's exhibit 42.
Yes, again, so Jennifer is in blue. It says, "Can you guys answer your phone?" And James responds, "No, at gun range, loud."
Okay. And then exhibit 27. Can you tell the jury what these two videos are?
Yes, so there's, on James Crumbley's cell phone, there was a video on the 20th of June at 12:58 p.m. that shows the shooter shooting the Kel-Tec pistol. And then after that, a couple minutes later, there's a video of the defendant's son shooting the Derringer pistol.
And these are it's the same day of the Facebook message before you just read?
Yes.
Okay. And this is exhibit 43 and 44. So the first video, the shooters, can you tell which firearm he's using?
Yeah, so the first video, the shooter's shooting the Kel-Tec pistol.
This right here.
Yes.
Okay. This was the one for $300.
Yes.
Okay. And then the second one was the Derringer?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right, I want to draw your attention to what's been marked as People's 45. Can you tell the jury what this is?
Yes, this is a Facebook message from James Crumbley to Jennifer Crumbley, sending the video of, it appears to be the second video of the shooter shooting the Derringer.
So the second clip, which was shorter, where the shooter's shooting the Derringer, was sent to Jennifer from James.
Yes.
Okay. And is this a Facebook post?
No, this is a Facebook message from James Crumbley to Jennifer Crumbley.
Okay. That's the, I already said that. That's the second clip, right? And then People's 46. Can you go back to that? What are we watching, Special Agent?
This is the video that James had sent to Jennifer via Facebook that she then believed as an Instagram story that said, "Ethan and James Crumbley both got handguns this week, testing them out at the range."
Okay, Ethan and James both got handguns this week, testing them out at the range. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. That's People's 46, Your Honor. I don't believe there's an objection.
Yeah, it's already admitted.
I'm going to direct your attention to the Exhibit 47, which was June 26th of 2021. What is that, Special Agent?
This is a receipt from the firearms range in Clarkston for range time and targets.
Okay, and Exhibit 48.
This is a Facebook message of, I believe, Ethan, the shooter shooting at the range in Clarkston, sent from James Crumbley to Jennifer Crumbley via Facebook Messenger.
Okay. And then 49. Was that the same video that was sent from James to Jennifer on June 26th?
Yes.
And what am I looking at right there?
This is the shooter at the gun range in Clarkston shooting the Kel-Tec pistol with the Derringer visible on the shooting platform.
Okay. And do you know what Jennifer did with that? Where was that posted?
It was posted to an Instagram story on June 26th.
Whose Instagram story?
Jennifer's Instagram story.
And is this the actual Instagram story?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Directing your attention to July 24th of 2021.
Your Honor, wait, what number was that?
Yeah,
75.
75.
75.
Sorry, it's
Oh,
July
70.
25th.
okay.
Can you tell,
Wait, hang on, I'm so sorry, what number?
It's exhibit number 75, it's July 25th, 2021.
Okay, thank you.
yeah, I was trying to ask him so that we can, so it's 75, what were we just watching?
This is a video taken on James Crumbley's cell phone of Jennifer Crumbley shooting at the Clarkston range, the Kel-Tec pistol.
Okay, this one,
Yes.
okay. All right, directing your attention to August 19th, 2021, exhibit 50 and 51. Can you tell me what this is?
Yes, this is a video sent by the shooter to another individual.
All right, and this was already admitted. What are we watching?
This is the shooter holding the Kel-Tec pistol.
This?
Yes.
Okay.
And then he sends the slide forward. There's no magazine or chamber or no round in the firearm.
Okay, was there any text messages about it or just the image?
There were also texts.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that was 50 or 51? We're going so fast right now, I can't.
I think it's 50, that was 51,
It's
right?
50.
The text is 50, the video is 51.
Okay, the text is 50 that has the video in it, and then the video is 51, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, text is 50, video 51. And I'm sorry, I am so sorry,
The
we're just
text-
going so
The
fast.
text contains the video.
And that's at the gun range, the shooter holding the Kel-Tec, or shooting the Kel-Tec, is that correct?
I'm happy to clear it up. Special Agent, what in that image are you able to observe?
It appears to be a couch.
Oh, okay,
Do you know what time that was sent?
I don't recall the exact time. I'd have to look at the text message. I believe it was later in the evening.
Okay, we'll go back to that. What time was it sent, Special Agent?
I believe this is the next video. It's 9:31 p.m.
Okay. Were you able to find another image that showed that the shooter had access to the Kel-Tec?
Yes. So on that same date, we sent another video to the same friend at 12:30 a.m. With the Kel-Tec.
And this is 52 and 53. All right, Special Agent, you said this was sent at what time?
I believe it was 12:30 a.m.
And on that same day, which was August 19th,
Yeah, I believe it would be now the 20th.
Okay, I'm sorry, the 20th, because it was after 12. And what do you see in the background that, can you tell the jury what you observed in the background of this photo?
Yes, so
This video, I'm sorry.
this video is taken on the dining room table in the Crumbley residence. Familiar with, after being inside and also reviewing photographs taken at the house during this investigation, that the wood grain matches on that table to the kitchen table in their dining room. In the video, the shooter loads a loaded firearm magazine into the firearm and then chambers around into the firearm.
So is this a concern to you?
Yes.
Can you tell the jury why?
As that ATF safety pamphlet states, the access to firearm by juveniles.
Your Honor, I would object because access to firearms by juveniles may be against the ATF pamphlet, but there's no evidence that there's not an adult there or anything happening.
Okay, yeah, he's not commenting on that. You don't know if anybody else was present.
No, Your Honor, I don't.
And Your Honor, I understand but that's argument, and she can use point that out. Was there any message accompanying this video to his friend?
Yes.
What was the message?
My dad left it out, so I thought, why not? LOL.
And
that is,
Your Honor, also, we've already had extensive arguments about, I am objecting to all hearsay texts between the shooter and his friend that my client and Mr. Crumbley have never seen, and this is one of them.
Your Honor, you've ruled on this several times, and
I ruled on this one.
No.
these are the text messages between the shooter and the other individual. You previously ruled that it's admitted.
I ruled on it. I don't recall this one specifically. Was this amongst the ones that were ruled on?
Okay, I'm happy to make it, I believe that you have, but if not, I'm happy to make the argument. This is, even if you haven't ruled on it, it's under the exception of a present sense impression. He's picking up a firearm and in that moment, videoing himself holding it and then saying, my dad left it out, so I thought, why not?
Well, it's in keeping with 803 1 and yeah, it's consistent with 803.1, isn't it?
Your Honor, I just want to reserve all prior objections that have already been in motions, and I can rely on that.
Thank you. All right, Special Agent, this is People's Exhibit 54. Can you tell the jury what this is?
This is the Google location information for James Crumbley. And it's dated August 19th, 9/29. It's around the time of the first video of the last two that we've seen. And it shows that he's at the Crumbley residence on East Street.
Okay, and the time on that?
It was 9:29 p.m.
Okay, and that's the video of where the couch was in the background.
Correct.
Okay, and then the next exhibit. This is 55. What is this?
This is the Google location information for Jennifer. It also shows that the at East Street address, the Crumbley family residence.
Okay, so in other words, both Jennifer and James were home during the photo with when he was holding the Caltech and there was a couch in the background.
Yes.
Okay, and then 56. This is August 20th. So it's the 12:32 where the video was taken and the text, my dad left it out.
Yes.
Okay, and this shows what?
This shows that James Crumbley, the email account associated with James Crumbley was at the East Street family residence, Crumbley family residence.
Okay, at 1:30 in the morning.
At 12:30.
Or 12:30 in the morning, sorry. All right, and the next slide, 57.
This is the same thing. It's Google location information for Jennifer's account, and it shows that she was at the Crumbley family residence at 12:21 a.m. that day as well, during the time, around the time of the video.
Okay, thank you. All right, I want to draw your attention to Exhibit 58. September 1st, 2021. This is a message between who?
This is a message between James Crumbley and Jennifer Crumbley on Facebook.
Okay, and the time is 4:56 p.m.?
Yes.
And what does the message say?
Ethan and I are headed to gun range.
Okay. And what are the special agent? This is exhibits 59 and 60, but can you tell the jury what they are?
Yes, so these are receipts for that day for James Crumbley. It's range time, targets, as well as renting a Ruger LCR 22 caliber revolver and paying for 22 caliber ammunition.
And this is a video, exhibit 61 of that same day?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and I want to, that's People's 61, and then I want to draw your attention to September 25th. Did either defendant go to a shooting, did this defendant go to a shooting range in Clarkston?
On September 25th, I believe, I don't recall for sure, I believe it was just James and Ethan that went.
So it wasn't this defendant?
No.
Okay. Were you able to determine whether or not she was aware they were at the range?
Yes.
And how do you know that?
I believe it was the same thing through Facebook messages.
Okay, and this is 62, and this is a receipt. What was the receipt for?
This was range fee, ammunition for 9mm, a rental of a 9mm pistol, as well as 22 caliber ammunition and targets.
In all of the videos you were able to obtain and observe, is this the first range video using a 9mm?
This is the first that I could find. Yes.
That we know of.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And this is 63. What are we looking at, Special Agent?
So that's James Crumbley in the white sweatshirt and gray baseball hat, and then the shooter is behind him wearing a light gray sweatshirt, dark pants, Nike shoes, and a black hat.
Special Agent, we see two firearms here, correct?
Correct.
Okay, what, if you can tell what kind of handguns?
So I believe the handgun that the shooter is picking up now is the Keltec. And then the other one was one that they appeared to rent, or to, if they were looking to purchase a firearm, sometimes that the range will let you test it out before you purchase it.
So the one to the right of the shooter, what is that, if you know?
I can't say for certain. The footage is a little grainy.
Okay. Can you tell the jury what he's doing right now, if you know?
I believe he's having trouble with the firearm discharging. He appears to be having some type of malfunction that he's not able to clear on his own.
Okay, and I want to draw your attention then to exhibit October 3rd of 2021, exhibit 64. What is this?
This is a Facebook message from James Crumbley to Jennifer Crumbley at 12:01 p.m. that says, "Cool, just got cleaning our guns, leaving for range in a few."
Okay, that's 64, and then,
Wait, I'm sorry, Your Honor, can we just slow down for 1 second? Because the exhibits I was given have more content. I just need to,
I will go as slow as you'd like.
Okay, this is
okay.
64.
Thank
We
you.
separated them to make it easier to read one message at a time.
I understand, but this is different than what you provided me, and I just need to make sure I'm keeping up. So thank you.
I'm happy to go at any pace you'd like.
Thank you.
Judge.
Okay, so this is exhibit 64.
Thank you. And I'm caught up.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
It's all right, it's all right.
All right.
It's a lot of information.
It's a lot of information.
65. What is that, Special Agent?
That's a receipt for the gun range in Clarkston dated October 3rd, 2021 for range time, targets, and .22 caliber ammunition.
Okay. All right. Was this the last documented visit before November 26th that we had?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to November 26th. What day was November 26th? What's significant about that day?
That was the date that James Crumbley purchased the 6-hour SP 2022 pistol for the shooter.
Okay, and that was the day after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Okay. This has been previously admitted. This is the receipt for the SIG, correct?
Yes.
People's 28. And that was paid in cash, and the amount is $519.35. I don't mean to lead, I'm just trying to do this to make it easier to understand.
Yeah,
I
this is
I have no objection with that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's already in.
Okay. And on the 26th, when this occurred, this has also been previously admitted. This is the purchaser's information. We've already talked about that. This was, I'm not sure if it was admitted, but it was shown in the opening. I believe there's no objection to it.
Yeah,
What-
it's submitted.
Okay.
66, yeah.
Again, for the jury, this is the SIG, correct?
Yes, what's depicted in that picture is the 6-hour pistol, yes.
Okay. And when did Jennifer post about, I'm sorry, excuse me. This is not Jennifer's post, this is the shooter's post. This is a different post, this wasn't the one at the opening. I apologize if I'm confusing anybody, it's just a lot. And what does this say?
So this is an Instagram post by a shooter that says, just got my new beauty today, 6-hour 9mm, ask any questions, I will answer.
Special Agent, were you able to determine based on the forensic evidence of the phones whether or not Jennifer Crumbley followed the shooter's Instagram account?
Yes, she did.
Okay, so this account where he posted, she followed it. We can't say she saw it, but we know she followed it.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, and that is a picture of the SIG?
Yeah, so the first picture was the 6-hour in the pistol box. And then the second picture is the shooter holding the firearm. It appears to be inside the Crumbley family residence based on the floor. And then there's the shooter again holding the firearm with the sights aimed in. As you can see, the 3 dots are aligned.
I'm
Okay.
so sorry, what number is that?
It's all part of 66.
66?
This is Instagram post from November 26, 2021.
Okay, thank you. So 66 then has multiple pictures.
Yeah, it's,
Okay,
it's
thank
the,
you.
it's the one Instagram account that we know is in common.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, yeah.
I just want to make sure.
But when it's in piecemeal, I can't tell the number is not on the screen, so
Right.
Right.
I was wondering.
that's why I'm having a hard time, so, sorry.
Are we
Yes.
able to take a break, Your Honor?
Never.
Sorry.
I was looking for the natural break, so.
Okay. This-
um,
Yeah, I don't think this is the fine time. There's about probably 30 minutes left of this.
Oh, okay, so, yeah,